The idea of these kind of three core archetypes that we're keen on in NLP, which is the idea of courage, intelligence, and heart or passion. So that you could say that for Dorothy in her journey in the land of Oz, she was looking to gain these qualities of strength from the lion, or intelligence from the scarecrow, or passion from the Tin Man. And when these three people were humanized at the end, that's a representation of her gaining these qualities. So, in that sense, where this pattern, the meta mirror, is deeper, when I do leadership coaching or something like that, is even though somebody's picking one specific instance in their past, it's also a more general insight into their behavior. This is a really important point in coaching, because how someone behaves in one situation is often an embodiment of a kind of recurring issue, if you like. Yeah? It is something lacking. So sometimes a person who has a lot of strength expresses it, or doesn't express it, right? Someone who has a lot of intelligence can express it in certain ways, or someone who's got a lot of heart. And the idea is that you want to develop all three. Now, the way I suppose I look at it is to say that if you've got someone who's strong and has got that ability to have strength, it's a good thing, because they can assert boundaries, they can be protective, they can be, it's a kind of important feature to have that sense of knowing what you want and being able to assert boundaries and express your needs. The shadow side of that would tend to be savage, more aggressive behaviour. And so sometimes people confuse the two. But it's very important to be able to just have that grounded strength. That's an important kind of quality as a person. If you don't have it, people will walk all over you, right? And also you won't know where you're going. You'll be kind of lost. Now, the other one is this sense of, in second position, this sense of kind of softness, connection, that ability to be empathetic with other people. That inspires loyalty, enables you to have and receive love. It's a really important quality. Sometimes people who have kind of this can also sometimes get, if you like, a gift. In coaching, often the people who have this have a gift of sensitivity. But with that gift of sensitivity sometimes comes a kind of curse, if you like, of getting really upset and really kind of wounded. Yeah? So what Robert Dilk said, which is a really nice quote, is if you have a gift in one of these areas, you also have a shadow. And the greater the gift, the greater the shadow. This can be an amazing, what we call reframe in NLP for somebody who claims to be depressed. Because if you say to somebody who is depressed that actually you have a really great connection ability, a great softness, a great intuitive quality, which is a wonderful gift, but with that comes a curse of great sensitivity and great pain sometimes. And you have to learn to manage that. It's great to have the gift, but you have to learn to manage the curse, the shadow. Does that make sense? And I think that's a better way of looking at negative or very strong kind of potentially negative feelings or getting very hurt, rather than there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You just happen to have a gift and a curse.
What's the shadow of intellect?
Well, manipulation, fundamentalism, kind of the puppet master. Yeah, so that's more, that kind of side. Machiavellian, manipulative, yes, etc. So the intelligence and different perspectives is also really important, and the ability to see things, certain humour, seeing things from different angles, again, an important quality. And the idea is that when you have these three qualities in the right mix, you then create a third archetype, fourth archetype called the sovereign. This is one of the sort of ways of looking at it, which is the king, the queen, the leader. They've got the right balance of strength, softness, and intelligence, and that brings some kind of sense of, leadership development, personal development, however you want to phrase it. Yeah. So I think that's an interesting extension to what, in some senses, is quite, may seem a fairly specific principle. There's something bigger and broader than